Welcome to the Voices of Otolaryngology podcast series, where we spotlight diverse perspectives and insights within the field of otolaryngology. I'm your host, Rahul Shah. Let's jump into it. Well, welcome to Voices of Otolaryngology. I'm at the OTO Forum, April 2025, Alexandria, Virginia. For those of you that have listened, you know my theme for this meeting is, what, Chris? Sometimes you just get lucky. And so I met a new friend, Srinivas Kaza. Nice to meet you.
Okay, pleasure.
Your nickname's Sinu.
Yes.
Yeah, rolls right off the tongue, but Srinivas rolls off my tongue. Welcome. And where's your practice?
So I'm in Rochester, New York.
Okay, but a Northwestern guy, right?
Northwestern, undergrad, medical school, and then residency in Pennsylvania at Geisinger.
Yeah, and then ended up in Rochester.
Yes.
How's that?
It's great. I've been there 20 years. So.
Wow, how did you end up from Geisinger to Rochester?
It's kind of always one of those stories where there's a spouse involved in decision making. So my story is that my wife, who I met when I was an intern, is from Toronto. And when I finished my training and when she finished her training, she's in OBGYN, then went into family medicine.
Okay.
She wanted to go back to Canada, and we kind of went back and forth, and kind of at that time, socialized medicine, there was a lot of anti-Canada. So we were like, well, let's kind of get close to the border without going across.
Well, you did it.
So as we looked at the map, one of my co-residents who was a few years ahead of me happened to be looking for adding a third position. And that was in the Rochester area, and that's where we ended up, and that's where we've been.
Wow. Well, thank you for running the OTO panel today about OPPS. It was marketing and reputational strategies. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And you just finished it.
We just fresh off the press.
Are you tired?
No, not at all. I'm pumped.
You're pumped. All right. Well, how did the panel go?
I thought it was nice. I think it was hard to follow a conversation about value-based care.
It's always hard to follow Will Harrell
and Dr. Harrell, so that was engaging, and I think people's heads were scrambled and swimming. So I think this topic was a little more of a bite-sized nugget.
Yeah. What are some of those nuggets?
Well, I think probably the biggest take-home theme is that it's a spectrum. When you look at marketing and reputation management, there's no one-size-fits-all. Everything is going to be local to where you are. So you have to understand your region. You have to understand your market. You have to really look in the mirror and understand who you are as a practice and what you represent. What is your why for existing? So I feel that we kind of had these three levels. The original idea was low, medium, and high budget. And then we kind of changed the title to marketing and reputation management for different budgets. So we were clearly the low budget example. And I think it was very insightful to see that the way that we do things works for us, but yet the South Carolina group, they had a different strategy that worked for their market. And of course, ENT Analogy, who was the third part of the kind of panel, had a much bigger campaign for their.
I know the Charleston group very well. I know Stuffy the mascot. So you don't have a mascot?
We do not have.
You don't have a branded mascot named Stuffy on commercials.
I think that's the only ENT mascot I've ever known in existence.
And that's a medium resource, because you said low, medium, and high, and we'll talk about that in a second, right? You talked about strategies.
Yes.
Go back a second. You talked about all marketing is local, kind of like real estate, right? So how do you learn your local market?
I think it just takes time. I think you have to look in the mirror. I had put up a slide that just really had a simple set of dots, and you just have to kind of see what those dots are, the data points that tell you where's your geography, what's your population base, what are your demographics, and you connect the dots. We bootstrapped it. I used two terms constantly throughout the panel.
Who did you use?
So two terms that I use constantly.
Two terms, yes.
Two terms. And I use this in every conversation I have anytime I meet people. Scrappy and bootstrapping. So our practice is scrappy, and we've bootstrapped almost everything that we've done. So all internal in terms of figuring out what our
So give me some strategies. How do groups, any group really, start understanding their market? What are some resources?
Yeah, I mean, I think, probably the quickest resource would be Google search, or now with an AI search and ChatGPT,
what do you ask it? Yeah, what do you query it?
Very sophisticated content. I mean, you could ask it just about anything. The more detail you put in, tell me about ENT marketing in the greater Rochester region. What are strategies that work to compete against System A and System B? And you will get probably a reasonably sophisticated businessman. We did not actually do that because we've been around long before.
Did you see what I was doing? I was reaching for my Claude AI. And I was going to say, let's do it. Well, Chris, we were going to do that, Chris and Miguel. I resisted the urge, but you could dictate it in.
You could just dictate it right in. That's right.
But you haven't done it because you kind of know the market.
Yeah, we've already kind of progressed to the point where that piece we've not had to do. However, as we go to the next step where we bring on new physicians and new hires and new PAs, we're expanding in our main location to a brand new medical office building and all the services that come with it. We will absolutely rely on those resources, even if it's for the purposes of pointing to what are some good third-party vendors to help engage.
Yeah, so let's go back to learning your local market. So you use search engines. Other strategies for people?
Yeah, I mean, I think,
maybe that came up in your panel or questions or slides.
Know your patients. Listen to your patients.
Interesting. Go with that one. Patients are always right, even for marketing. What do you mean by that?
They will tell you what they like about you, what they like about your practice. If they had a good interaction with your front staff, we get constant feedback. Oh my gosh, the people at the reception and all the people are so invested, they care. And so that is great marketing.
How's that good marketing? How do you turn it into marketing?
That's it. You have patients that are giving you good reviews, good word of mouth. They're writing those Google reviews. They're posting it on the Facebook.
And then you amplify them on your website.
Yeah, exactly. Other resources, referring doctors. It was mentioned on the panel that anytime a new physician sends you a patient that you're not familiar with, call them back, give them your cell phone, engage them. So we do that. Yeah, it's just understanding where you are.
So Chris and Miguel, I think we have a title for this one: Marketing and Reputational Management. Know your patients. Is that really interesting, huh? That's actually really, really great. So we start with understanding our local market, and it seems like there's a lot of opportunities, including my good old buddy, Claude AI. Then you talked about low, medium, and high resources that you put into it. Can you build that out? And you don't have to, but dollar values or percent of revenue that you invest or operations might help some of our members, but by all means.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So in the presentation, our low budget scrappy version, it's less than 0.5% of our total gross revenue that we dedicate to any type of marketing.
Hold on. Love your specificity. We don't even know each other, but I'm starting to love the way you think. 0.5% of total gross revenue invested in marketing.
Exactly.
All right. So $1 million practice, you're spending, hold on, 10% is 100,000. Hold on. 1% is 5,000. So low practice would be less than 5,000.
Exactly.
Per million. Okay. So go with that. And then at medium, then high.
So it was described in the panel that kind of industry standards for marketing are anywhere from 4 to 5%. That's
total gross revenue?
Total gross revenues.
Wow, that's a lot.
It does sound like a lot. I was a bit surprised to hear that.
That's 40 to 50,000 for $1 million.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, if we're doing our math right. Wow.
And if it's, let's say, a facial plastics practice, that just goes hand in glove with what it takes to kind of get your name out there. I saw some people nodding in the audience when I mentioned that marketing for a cosmetics center practice or facial plastics practice are totally different. I think my two co-panelists kind of surprised me in the sense that they are relatively low budget for their markets as well. So
why did they surprise you though?
Well, they're bigger footprint practices. So Dr. Burkhalter's practice.
And where is that practice?
That's in the Midlands of South Carolina. So an affiliate of Charleston ENT. Okay. So it's Palmetto ENT.
But they call themselves a low
medium budget. So they have about a 2 to 3% of their top line revenue on the marketing. And then ENT and Allergy Associates, very, very big group in kind of the greater New York City metro area, as we all know. They were kind of in the 1.5 to 2%. So probably some economies of scale.
Exactly, right? If you're so big, both of those, South Carolina and New York, New Jersey, if you're that big, people know you, right? And then,
yes.
What percent of the market do you have in Rochester? You have 3 offices in Rochester, 3 physicians, 5 APPs?
3 and 6, hopefully soon to be 4 and 6.
Sorry, 4 and 6, so 10 providers. And what percent of the market share?
We've never really done a deep dive on that, but if I had to kind of tell you what our patient flow is relative to the other otolaryngologists in the community, we're probably about 10 to 15%.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So it's not dominant by any stretch and it seems to be fragmented.
Yep.
So marketing is important in your area. And how about the high resources? You said 4 to 5% for mid, or what would high be? What is,
So both of the groups really developed their marketing departments in-house. So reputation management, social media, website, all of those things they do in-house. But for a sort of high resource practice that doesn't maybe have the operational ability to do those in-house, you're outsourcing it. And
what
anytime
is
you
that?
outsource it to a third party reputation management company, website design company, social media, marketing, any type of spend on any kind of campaigns, whether it's
Yeah.
multimedia, digital streaming, you are going to pay. There's some value capture that those other entities will take. So I suspect that that's where you get to that, 4 to 5%.
All right, so 4 to 5% is the high end of industry standard. The low resource you call 0.5% or less, and then the others the middle. Got it.
Exactly.
So what are some strategies that we can try? One great word in the quality improvement world is, what are you going to do by next Tuesday? So today is Saturday. What can somebody do by Tuesday?
Yeah, I mean, if you really want to bootstrap something like that, it could just be creating a simple feedback card to give to patients. Feedback card. You can put stars on it, have them circle the number of stars, have a blank line for them to give feedback.
And
then
they're just dump it in a box on the way out, or mail it back, whatever.
and just build from there. Simple, easy.
What would you build from there? So they send it back to you, and then what do you do with the information?
Ironically, we don't actually do that. We have them do Google reviews. So we review the Google reviews online.
But why would they do a Google review? Do you give them a gift card or a donut?
There's no inducement. Of course, there's no incentivization. We just have a plan where and this came out in the presentation, we give patients many, many different ways to reach us directly or to have engagement through QR codes, text messages, emails. There are content loops that we play in the exam rooms and in our waiting rooms that have QR codes. So they have plenty of opportunities. And this, let's face it, is the time in the world where people like to review just about everything. My experience at the takeout fast food restaurant, my experience at the gas station, whatever it is.
Experience with my in-office traditional fest. Yeah. Similar to the takeout. Yeah.
Yes.
So you capture that information, then how do you turn it into marketing or reputational management?
Yeah, I mean, I think it will, again, vary based on your practice and your market.
Yeah.
For us to give the kind of the low resource, kind of small practice format, the less is more for us. So less is more in the sense that the less that we really try to buff and shine the diamond, we try to keep it a diamond in the rough. We're not looking to have market dominance because I think there's the potential to overextend and to look like you're trying too hard.
Yeah.
So a little bit of,
Why does this doctor's office keep reaching out to me? They're not busy enough.
and right, is there something wrong? Why are they spending money on billboards and advertising? And
When you look at the Google reviews, and let's segment into generations, and let's define a generation as 20 years. Okay. Tell me when you lose me. 0 to 20, 20 to 40, 40 to 60, and 60 and above. So 4 generations of people.
Yep.
Do you see a certain generation that fills out the Google reviews? Is it, and you don't have to use millennial. I'm just asking you kind of age demographics.
Yeah, I mean, if you chunk it up that way,
82-year-old mother's not going to finish do that.
Yeah, if you chunk it up that way, it makes it quite easy. So it's going to be the 20 to 40 and the 40 to 60.
That have more of an inclination.
They're right in the middle of that bell curve, for sure.
Yeah. Any other strategies that you think about? And you use the word reputational management. So what do you do? How do you manage a bad Google review? Can I call Google and take it down?
You can't take it down. You can only reply in a very, HIPAA compliant.
But what do you do if someone
generic way.
trashes you on that?
Well, like I mentioned during the talk, it's a direct reach out. I mean, I think there's some that are just sort of a little crazy, a little ridiculous.
And what do you do?
They're not even worth it. We just let those stay. But the ones where there's a
Falsity or a lie.
Yeah, I mean, if there's something that's just, someone has an unusual Google review name or something that's just offensive and the language is offensive, then we just leave that alone. But if somebody has a genuine problem, we will immediately call them within 24, 48 hours to say, hey, please tell us more about it.
But can you tell Google to take it down if they say something bad about Dr. Kaza or inflammatory or just not appropriate? Will they take it down? Do they look through it?
You can't take it down. You cannot easily have them take it
Oh,
down.
really?
The person who posted that can take it down.
Yeah, sure, but
still,
Google won't if they say stuff like Dr. Kaza's mean.
no, unless you probably have a third party company
Yeah, scrub.
that is going to scrub and really do some active maintenance, which we don't do.
But that's tough. So that's why you do feedback and reputational management, right? You've got to
Yes.
be ahead of the curve.
Yes.
What are some marketing strategies that you use? We've talked about reputational management. What are some marketing strategies? And not just you, sorry, that you
In
learned at the
general.
OTO Forum.
Yeah.
Yeah. That some of our other colleagues or audience members are using.
So there's a lot of analytics and click-throughs, search engine optimization. I mean, I think the digital platforms are really where probably that middle range
Yeah,
budget.
because it gets expensive. SEO, search engine optimization, is not cheap.
Exactly. So they're really putting time and effort into those trackable leads where where are people online and where are they spending time. There are social media campaigns, whether it's TikTok or Instagram
Huh.
or Facebook, where they're producing, little snippets.
But you've got to outsource that. I mean, you can't do that.
We have chosen not to do that. I think practices that do that, they have to have a dedicated team
Yeah.
because, as was mentioned in the panel, there's nothing worse than starting that and then having it go stale.
Yeah.
And I think the higher resource ones, they will just hire it out and maybe have somebody who's just
That's
cranking out content.
20, 40, 50, 60,000. That's no joke.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
I gave in one of the earlier slides kind of the analogy of a nuclear arms race. So if you
Yeah.
kind of ante up your spend and build up more nuclear weapons, and the other team or the other country is going to do the same, and just
then
keeps going back and forth.
Yeah, and we're not competing on quality at that point, right? You're competing on the number of nuclear weapons you have, right? How do you compete on quality? You get the word out to referring doctors that you're high quality practice, and you want to grow the pie. You don't want to cannibalize other practitioners in town.
Correct. I think we're fortunate in one sense that there is more demand for otolaryngology care than ever in our market. As you know, as you've kind of canvassed the membership, it's just there.
Right on.
And it's just the perfect storm of forces that have led to that. So I don't think we ever feel like we are eating each other's pieces of the pie, which is nice. I think it just grows. And, to your point, if you provide good care, good service, patient-centric, all sort of the basic building blocks I had mentioned in my panel, the 4As, affability, availability, accountability, and ability. Over time, there is a flywheel effect where that will ultimately drive home the point. And internal referrals, word of mouth referrals, doctors bring their patients to their strong advocates and testimonials and so on and so forth. It just kind of builds from there.
Some of my favorite words, Miguel and Chris know that, right? The 4As and then the flywheel. We have an academy flywheel as well, but right, how you use the academy to power member value, which drives member growth, which decreases the member unit cost, which causes more members. But same for you.
Yes.
Right. You get out there. What were some of the bad strategies you heard from the audience or from the panelists? Things gone wrong. Maybe social strategy that's not committed. You turn it on and off. What else did you hear?
Yeah, it's funny. I don't think there was nothing negative from the panelists in terms of things that they had tried and that didn't work. I think the one comment that Dr. Burkholter did make is that you don't want to overload patients during the holidays. Holiday time is a bad time to
go out there with the marketing blitz.
Too much. It's saturation. It's brain overload.
What does it mean? Go with that.
Because there's a holiday blitz from everything, right? All the commercial.
So your spend during that time is not going to really get.
Right. It gets diluted by the holiday merchandising and shopping sprees.
Do you keep a patient list by emails or cells, and do you go after them? Some of our members talk about the lifetime economic value of a patient, that they'll keep coming back. They'll send their grandkids, their other family members. Do you target your existing patients?
Yeah, so it's interesting. Albany ENT may be where you saw that lifetime value of a patient. They have really tracked that. So we have kind of known that. We don't track that at the analytical level, but certainly there is a lifetime value to any patient that comes in. In terms of the database, we have an EMR. I mean, I think there are probably a few practices out there that are still on paper, probably very few, which would be probably dinosaurs at this point in time. But all of that is in there, the emails, the cell phones.
Yeah. So do you use them?
As they become patients, they're signing disclaimers, hey, it's okay to text me or email me. And so we do use that. But again, we're careful. We have used the diamond in the rough approach. We don't want to oversaturate. It has to be, if they get a contact from us, it has to be meaningful contact. But I think you can absolutely leverage that in the medium and high resource examples.
Is there an ROI?
Yeah, I think for us, again, we've bootstrapped it, so we are not able to, because our spend is so little.
Exactly.
It's
You'll get a return.
you put that numerator
You get
over
10 patients
zero,
over. Yeah. In a year, it'll be
that's
good.
it. So it's definitely there. I think for the others, there was some discussion about what things work and what things don't, which campaigns online generated the clicks that kind of came back through to the website or what have you. So yeah, I imagine that's there. I don't know how to track that. I think if we had to, we would probably have to get a third party involved.
Dr. Kaza, thank you very much. I thought it was awesome. I know your panel was well received about marketing and reputational management. Know your patients. Any final word?
No, I think just a shout out to the fact that the OPPS has come into existence and the fact that you're actively
Thanks, man.
involved. So
You still a Bills fan?
I'm not a Bills fan. You might want to cut that off.
No, you can keep that on, man. All right. So hold on. You're Eagles? Because you're a Delaware boy. So I'm a Commanders fan. We had a great game. You all deserve to win. It was fine. It was fine, right? I mean, it was a great game.
Yeah.
I think the score justified. I'm talking about the championship. Justified. I mean, the better team won.
I agree.
Yeah. So when I win, I want you to agree. All right.
I'll be right there.
Right on. Good to meet a new friend. Thank you very much for what you do for the Academy. Thanks for being here, spending time and educating our members.
Thank you.
All right. I'll say fly Eagles, but let's clip those wings. Thank you.
Thanks.
We hope today's episode sparked some fresh ideas. If it resonated with you, please subscribe and share it with friends. Have thoughts or suggestions? Use the feedback form in the show notes. We'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to follow us on social media for highlights, behind-the-scenes content, and updates. Thanks for listening. See you next time.